For years, viewers have grown used to seeing Bradley Walsh as the ultimate gentleman of television. Quick with a joke, generous with praise, and always ready to smooth over even the most awkward moment with humor. That's why what happened recently caught everyone off guard, not because it was harsh, but because it was unexpected. It all started with a comment. Not shouted, not dramatic, just a few words delivered with that familiar Bradley Walsh tone, the one that's half teasing, half honest, and completely impossible to ignore. But this time, those words were directed towards someone fans adore just as much as he does, Anne Hegerty. The woman known for her razor-sharp mind, calm confidence, and unapologetic honesty. A figure who has never been afraid to be herself, whether that means delivering brilliant answers or speaking her mind with refreshing clarity. So when Bradley made his unexpected remark, viewers leaned in. Was it a joke? Was it playful? Was there something deeper behind it? Almost instantly, reactions poured in. Some fans laughed, recognizing the familiar banter between two people who have spent years working side by side. Others paused, replaying the moment again and again, searching for hidden meaning. Social media lit up with theories, opinions, and playful debates. But here's the truth many may have missed. This wasn't conflict, it was chemistry. The kind that only develops when people truly understand each other. The kind that allows teasing without tension, honesty without harm, and humor without offense. Those close to both Bradley and Anne were quick to point out that their relationship has always been built on mutual respect. Behind the scenes, they've shared countless laughs, quiet conversations, and moments of understanding that never make it to camera. Bradley, in particular, has often spoken about how much he admires Anne's intelligence and authenticity. He's joked before that she's one of the few people who can outthink him before he's finished a sentence and remind him of it with a perfectly timed look. And Anne? She's never been one to take things personally, especially when humor is involved. In fact, friends say she appreciates honesty far more than flattery. And when it's wrapped in Bradley's trademark charm, it's usually met with a knowing smile. That's why shortly after the moment aired, Anne's reaction said everything. No offense, no awkwardness, just calm confidence and, if you looked closely, a hint of amusement. Fans who know her well recognized it instantly. That's Anne Hegerty, unbothered, self-assured, and perfectly comfortable standing her ground while letting the moment pass. Meanwhile, Bradley, perhaps realizing the ripple his words had caused, was later seen doing what he does best, lightening the mood, cracking jokes, turning attention away from tension and toward laughter. At one point, he reportedly laughed it off by saying that Anne keeps him on his toes and that television would be far less interesting without her. Classic Bradley. What made this moment so engaging wasn't drama, it was familiarity. Viewers felt like they were witnessing a genuine interaction between two people who have spent years building trust, respect, and a shared rhythm. There was something almost romantic about it, not in the traditional sense, but in the way long-term partnerships work. The kind where you can tease without hurting, speak honestly without fear, and trust that the other person understands your intent. Fans quickly began sharing their own interpretations. Some said it reminded them of old friends who communicate through humor. Others compared it to sibling-like banter. Many simply said it made them smile because it felt real. And that authenticity is exactly why audiences love Bradley and Anne so much. They're not perfect, they're not scripted, they're human. They tease, they challenge, they respect each other enough to be honest. In a world where television moments are often polished to perfection, this one stood out because it wasn't. It was spontaneous, unfiltered, and very much alive. Even better, it reminded viewers why these personalities have lasted so long in the public eye, not because they avoid tension, but because they handle it with humor, grace, and mutual understanding. Anne, later seen laughing during another moment, appeared completely at ease. Bradley, back to his usual warm self, made sure the atmosphere stayed light and welcoming. Whatever fans initially thought they witnessed quickly transformed into appreciation. Appreciation for honesty, for comfort, for relationships that don't need constant reassurance because they're already built on trust.
This wasn't a falling out, it was a glimpse behind the curtain. A reminder that strong professional bonds often look messy, playful, and unscripted, and that's what makes them real. As conversations continue online, one thing is clear. Viewers aren't upset, they're engaged. They're talking, they're smiling, and they're reminded why they tune in again and again. Because moments like this don't divide fans, they bring them closer. They spark conversation, they show personality, they reveal authenticity. And in the end, that's far more memorable than perfection. If this moment surprised you, amused you, or made you appreciate the genuine connections behind familiar faces, stay connected. Stories like these remind us that the best television moments aren't always planned. Sometimes they happen when people feel comfortable enough to be themselves. And that's when audiences truly fall in love, with the laughter, the honesty, and the beautifully human moments in between.